is Kate. I would like to introduce my father, Albert Bosma, to talk to you about Go Racing this week, and your interviewer is Sophie Bosma.
Thank you, Kate.
Good job, Katie.
Well done. What a wonderful introduction.
Nice one. Hello, Albert.
Hello, Sophie. How are you this week?
Slightly annoyed because the first time we filmed this, we didn't have the right resolution, but second time lucky.
So we needed to say we've already done this one. So
Yes.
But the resolution was wrong, so it came out all hazy.
Yes.
I did it twice.
Just a moment. Just been out of focus. There we go. We're not going to make the same mistakes again. Okay.
So we had a lot of feedback last week about
Really?
your pay rates.
Yes.
And we had people saying that you should be paid
Yeah.
per view, per individual view.
I agree with that.
So the problem with that is that if we get, it usually gets a couple of hundred views.
What if I paid like $1 per view and then I can make like $200 a week and I can get a phone easy?
Well, it would be $200 about 15 minutes work, which would be a huge amount of money. And other people said you should be on $5 an hour.
Yeah. Sorry, just quickly. Yeah.
So, the camera moved.
Yeah.
So anyway, we may have to review it. We may look at reviewing your pay.
My
There's some good
contracts.
ideas, but people were generally horrified.
Okay. Well, I'm glad
So it
we've
was good news
got
for
got
you.
public awareness now.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing. Okay, let's crack into the racing.
Yeah, let's talk about the last week.
Last week we had 2 runners, but let's start off with Miss Lightning, who is now retired and ran 7th.
Yeah, so Miss Lightning, she ran well and she tried her best. She tried hard. She jumped. She was handy, but the track was really sticky, and which probably doesn't quite suit her. And she kept trying all the way to the right line to run 7th. She's under offer now to be sold, and it looks like that may well go through this week. And look, her win 2 weeks ago was so important for her and her broodmare value. And look, I think she'll be retired now, and we'll look forward to buying some of her foals in the
she'll be a
future.
mum.
Yeah, and being a mum, and I think she'll be a good mum, and I think she'll leave foals that have got plenty of speed.
Awesome. And let's go with National Pride, who finished just behind midfield.
Yeah, look, National Pride, Jonathan Riddell rode him, and he was actually pretty happy with his run. It didn't rain on the day, and when National Pride won at his previous start, it had rained, and the track was loose and wet. But on Saturday, because it hadn't rained and it was sticky, it didn't really suit him. Like, he could sit handy, but he just couldn't quite sprint in it. And Saturday was also a race to get him fit for his next start. His main aim is next Saturday, the 18th of July. It's a special conditions 1800 worth $20,000, and that's his big go. And so Saturday served its purpose, and we weren't that disappointed with him. He'll be ready to go a really good race next start.
Yeah.
If the rain comes.
He put in a really good effort.
Yeah, he did, and it served its purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. So let's start off with the upcoming week. For tomorrow at Stratford in race 5, we have Not Afraid, who is drawn barrier 11.
Yeah, and look, Not Afraid, last start she was off a 5-week break, and Stephen Marsh felt he had it pretty right. When we got to the races and he realised how deep and heavy the track was, he thought after such a break away from the races that she might just be a gallop short. And it turned out that way. She sat handy, but just the last 300 metres she just struggled a little bit. So this week we expect it to be that much more forward, and the wide barrier draw isn't a concern. I imagine they'll be tracking wide anyway, and we expect a much better run from her, and so I think she's a definite top 3 chance.
Nice. And then in race 7, we have Zanotti, who is drawn barrier 10, and I love the name Zanotti, even though I didn't just say it correctly.
Well, yeah, Zanotti's mum is called Goody Two Shoes.
Oh, yeah.
And Zanotti is the most expensive and premium brand of shoes in the world.
Really?
Yeah, it's made by a guy called, I think, Giuseppe Zanotti. So, being able to Goody Two Shoes, she's called Zanotti. So,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah. So she...
I bought new shoes recently.
did you? Are they Zanottis?
No.
No, good. So she ran first up a couple of weeks back and ran 3rd. It was a really good run. She sprinted hard. So this week, drawn wide isn't a problem again with the wet track. And we've got Danielle Johnson on, and I think I think she's probably our best bet of the weekend of the 3 runners we've got. She should 1400 metres. I think it's 1480. Suits her better than 1200, and with natural improvement for a first start, she's our best chance for the weekend. She's a good chance.
Awesome. So let's finish that up with our third runner. We won't mention yet. And that's on Friday night at Singapore. Race 9, which is the last race. And Stilly Show. It is Stilly Show who has drawn barrier 2.
So it's actually Saturday morning because...
Oh, yeah, time zone differences.
Time zones. So the races start on Friday night here and they finish Saturday morning. It's 2:20 a.m, which is a bit of a bugger, but that's all right. So,
Dad, language.
It's okay. So she was a long time away from the races. She ran fresh up and she ran down the track after sitting outside the leader, but she really needed the run. So this week she's drawn barrier 2 over 1,100 metres. So she should be able to sit handy, and we expect to see big improvement from her. If we don't see improvement from her, we'll be a little bit worried because she should be fit enough to go a good race. But her working, I think, suggests that she'll run a much better race. So we've also put an apprentice on who claims 3 kilos, takes the weight of her back. She should sit handy. She's won on the poly track before. She's only got 55.5 kilos to carry in. And Friday night will tell us, Saturday morning will tell us a lot about where she's at.
Yeah.
So, yeah, tell us a lot about where she's at. So we're looking forward to that one.
Awesome. And even though we have no more races left, we still have one topic left to discuss. And that was where Doug, my younger brother, played his rugby game at on Saturday.
Where did Doug, your younger brother, who's 7, play his rugby at last Saturday?
At the Avondale Racecourse.
That's right.
Which was actually pretty epic. I didn't know you could have rugby pitches in the middle of a racecourse, but I guess you can.
Did he? Yeah, so he wouldn't play on the track. He actually played in the middle of about 6 sparks. And wasn't the ground amazing? Like, it was like you didn't need gumboots or anything.
No, it was like you could tell it was well looked after. Like, it was really clean and nice.
And what did we do before the game?
It was actually a bit during the game, but we took a walk around the whole perimeter. We walked around the racecourse, and those horses do a very good job. We were struggling walking.
Yeah, and it was amazing. Like, it was, you realise, like, the horses with their hooves could move and things. It's actually quite undulating, isn't it?
Yeah, like little divots.
Yeah, there's divots and stuff. So it was, it was interesting.
That was interesting. And to top it off, Doug won his game.
And scored a try.
Yes, so it was a very good week for the Bosma family.
It was. As they should have. When we sponsored them Avondale Gold Cup, so, you know, there should have been some advantages about playing there.
Of course.
And I want to finish off the week by talking about a more serious topic, which is cobalt. And as we know, there's been a cobalt positive. There's been 3 positives for the Sullivan Scott stable, which is under investigation at the moment. There's no decision on that. About whether it was in feed or what it was. So I'm not going to comment on that. But what I want to comment on is there's been a heap of rumours flying around about other stables having used cobalt. And the RIU, the Race Integrity Unit, came out this week and scotched those rumours and said there is nobody else under investigation. And I think that was an excellent thing to do, because rumours in racing are terrible. They spread and they become fact when they're not. And also it just shows how clean New Zealand racing is. That they can come out and say there is nobody else under investigation. And I think that was an excellent thing.
Yeah.
So that was a very good thing. And so now next week we'll be back and we'll be looking forward to...
Very busy week.
Busy week, the last Premier week, Premier race day of the year at New Plymouth, and we'll have a big race day with a lot of chances.
Awesome.
So we're back to talk about that next week.
Yeah. And just a little follow-up comment from what you just said. I'm happy that New Zealand is such a safe place to live in, that we don't have too much testing like that.
Yeah, which is a good thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Alright, so thank you for interviewing me, and we'll see you next week.
On Tube Talk. See you later, guys.